70% of my business has always come as a result of follow-up. So I want to share a story with you that you're going to be able to connect to follow-up and why follow-up is so important. So I want you to think about a situation. Maybe you decide, this happened to us in Connecticut. We went to a restaurant. It was a new restaurant that opened up. We figured we'd check it out, not because we received anything in the mail, or not because anybody told us about it, because we just frequently drove by the restaurant. And so we figured, you know what, why not go in and check it out? So we went in one night, and there weren't many people in the restaurant, but we decided to go in anyway. And we were actually surprised, my wife and I, about how good the food was. We're like, wow, this food was actually really, really good. And then, we ordered a coffee as well. And, so the coffee was actually really good coffee. And then my wife, ordered a piece of pie. So, we had a couple bites of the pie, which again was actually a lot better than normal. So we were like, wow, this actually was pretty impressive of a restaurant experience. And then we left, and that was it. And here's the challenge with that. We never went back to the restaurant. Why did we never go back? Well, because the restaurant did its job. It gave us a good meal, but it didn't do anything outside of that. It didn't do anything on top of that or beyond that, right? Like, nobody really made us feel super welcome at the restaurant. Nobody came over when we were there and, connected with us. When we left, they didn't give us any offer and get our email address or any information on us so that they could continue to follow up, maybe give us a coupon, maybe send us something. There was nothing. It was just like, we came in, we had a good experience, and then we left. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to look at this through the exact same lens of when you're calling on people, especially people you don't know, like a for sale by owner, an expired, or anybody for that matter. You call and you may have, like, if you're good, like if you're coaching with me, then you're gonna stand out over the other people that call. And you may make an impression just like that restaurant did with me. But the reality is, they may not be ready at the moment to do anything, and they may have other plans. Yet, if you have a good system in place and you have a good way to follow up, then there's a good chance you'll get that business. But if you don't, which unfortunately most real estate agents don't have, then you're never going to get the business. It's not going to come to you, because you're going to be relying on them to reach out to you. And it's just not going to happen. You're just too busy. Again, exactly why we never went back to that restaurant, just because although it was good food, it was nothing special. They never reached out to us. They never gave us any compelling reason to go back. They, so as a matter of fact, we kind of forgot about it until I heard a Dan Kennedy sharing a similar story, which then prompted me to remember this story. And that's what helped me create this video. So I know you are going to do a lot better job of that, but that just is the perfect story as to why follow-up is so important. So again, when you're making these contacts, you are connecting at a different level than anybody else. And you may make that impression, but unless you're following up, right? Unless you're staying top of mind, that's why getting the email address is so important. That's why having a follow-up system is so important. That's why taking the right notes is so important, because that's where the business is going to come from. So I hope you got a ton from this. And what I'd like you to do actually now is I want you to come up with your plan of action. Like, what is your plan of action for follow-up? So for me, on any call, I want to make sure if I leave with the email address, no matter what, even unless it's not going to go anywhere. If it's not going to go anywhere, then it's done. As you guys know, my philosophy is either appointment, follow-up, or delete. So if it's an appointment or follow-up, then I'm getting email address. If it's delete, then I'm wishing them the best and I'm moving on. So figure out what your plan of action is. And remember, 70% of your business will come as a result of follow-up.